How's everything sounding?
I think it's like exactly the same setup as like a week ago, so it looks fine to me.
Okay, cool.
I could be a bit louder.
You got any burps to get out before we get...
Oh no, actually we're good.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Hello and welcome back to the W Basketball Show. I'm your host Lucas, joined this week by co-host Marco. Co-host Marco, how are you?
Really good, Lucas. How are you?
I'm well. I'm happy to hear that you're good as well. Anything fun to talk about this week?
I feel like I've had a pretty uneventful last 5 days, but pleasantly so, you know?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
In what way?
I think that sometimes the less you do, the happier you are.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Don't get me wrong, I love activities, socialization, going to the club.
Socialization.
things of that nature.
Yeah, right.
But having done very little of that on the weekend, I feel like so much better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I'm well fed, I'm well exercised, I'm well rested. How would you respond to that?
Well, how I would respond to that in this very normal conversation that we're having is that being sick, right?
So you're still sick.
Well, you know, let's not bury the lead. But when you're sick, what does your body want to do? It wants to get back to its immediate needs. Am I well fed? Am I well rested? Let me just do nothing.
Yeah.
Because that means you'll also be happier. Because
Yeah.
when you're sick, you're not like, let's go to the club.
Yeah.
Let's socialization.
Yeah, unless you're sick in the head.
Yeah. But so yeah, I have been sick over the past day. Let's say. Let's call it the last 30 hours. From about 11 a.m. yesterday, I started to feel what I then later in the day learned.
I'm going to change it a tiny little bit, but keep going.
Thanks, bro. You've turned it down or up?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What I learned to be the start of a migraine. Now, I don't really get migraines or headaches or anything like this, but I had one yesterday and I was like, God, I feel awful. Like, I never have this. And I feel truly, awful. So I got home at 5, and then I was pretty much in bed from 5 p.m. until about 7 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah.
God.
I was just unable to do anything.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I woke up feeling pretty crook because, after one of those big sleeps, you're like, I should be feeling great and fresh. But no, it's twice the amount of sleep I usually get.
It's also you had a migraine.
Yeah.
It's actually such an awful experience.
Yeah. So what's the deal? Have you ever had one of these things before?
Heaps.
Isn't it so bad?
So bad. I get it maybe once a year. I get a really bad one, I reckon. And then if I push myself, to the brink of exhaustion, that can probably set one off as well. Yeah. But yeah, once a year, I'm just guaranteed to have 24 hours where it's just oh my God. Can't even go on your laptop.
Oh my God. That was because I tried to work today and then I was like, I actually can't look at the screen. Nah. My favorite thing in the world, the screen.
You have to lie in the dark and have no information coming into your head. Yeah. Which sucks. Yeah. And you still feel bad. It's just you'll feel worse if you subject yourself to anything. Yeah. I think last time I had a migraine, I put on
20 kilos.
I put on... I'm trying to think what TV... You know what? I think I put on The Simpsons and I just put the audio on really low and then I turned away from the computer screen. I just
sounds so good.
I just flitted in and out of sleep while The Simpsons played.
Oh my God.
It wasn't great, but it would have been worse to have just lay there doing nothing.
Yeah.
My mum gets them chronically, actually. In fact, she used to get them literally weekly, and it got worse as menopause set in. And then now she's on this medication. She just doesn't get them anymore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's incredible.
Yeah. Well, happy to hear for Sonia.
Yeah. Thank you.
But, on the topic of not looking at screens, no better day to not be looking at screens as a WNBA fan because there were no games today.
Wasn't there one on Amazon Prime?
No.
Oh, no, there was no games at all.
There were 0 games at all.
Damn, well, this is the thing with the bloody Amazon Prime games. It's I don't even know when they're happening.
Okay.
It's watch on Prime.
Yeah. Go on. How do you feel about it?
It's just Amazon? So stupid, man.
Ion? Ion Friday?
What is Ion? Do you know what Ion is?
I don't have any idea.
I pay for League Pass.
Yeah.
I pay for WNBA League Pass like a good citizen,
Yeah.
I should just be able to watch every WNBA game, I think.
Yeah.
At a minimum.
Yeah. I had the Amazon Prime app. I got maybe half a quarter into a game before I was like, I'm not watching any more basketball on Amazon Prime. It's got that just truly, just idiotic thing that all bad web players have, which is that you can't scroll back or forward on a live stream.
Oh my God.
How? You have, on Amazon, you have a streaming service in which you can watch TV shows and movies on demand, and you can also stream events live. How are you not able to cross those wires for a premium viewing service? And I'll have you know, before you come back in, you'll be happy to hear this. I wrote a scathing review when I cancelled my Amazon Prime. I picked every very unsatisfied option, and I was like, I kept writing like, I don't understand how you have, like, basically the crux of the shot was, I don't understand how you guys have, this is your like end product. One, how you can be charging people for this too, and what is your competitive advantage? Because there is nothing you are providing that all the other streaming services aren't providing better.
Yeah, 100%. It's also just like not like it's new technology. Like it's out there. The technology to stream live video and have a rewind option, let's call it.
Yeah.
It's out there. Plenty of, well, not plenty of platforms do it well actually, but like the one you partner with, the WNBA, they do it well. Like
the WNBA,
they do it better than the NBA.
The WNBA streaming might be the best live streaming like what would you call it, service in the world.
Well, certainly that we
they do that too. You know? Of what I interact with.
Right now we have NBA League Pass, KO Sports. I'm sure Paramount Plus sucks.
Yeah.
I'm sure Stan Sports.
YouTube's
you
good.
know what? Stan Sports might be good. I have no idea. Nothing to base it on.
True.
But I bet Stan Sports is sneaky good.
Could be.
You know, sorry for the irrelevance to our non-Australian listeners.
So you were trying to watch a game on League Pass last week or something?
Yeah.
What was it?
I think it was
it the Levaces versus the UConn?
I think
Sun?
I think it was the Levaces against the Connecticut Sun, which obviously was like, well, both before and after, I was like, man, that would be such a good game to watch. You know, second game back for Chelsea Gray for the Aces.
Yeah,
coming out of a bit of a slump of form. I won't get stuck in the weeds about it, but like, it seems like we just needed her, like, on the bench for us to be good. Like, she hasn't played particularly well. I know she's played well, but like, she hasn't been taking many shots, and she hasn't played huge minutes. But just like her being there has won us 2 games, like really, really handily. And yeah, like I think that was Sun's second loss of the season.
Yeah.
And then they had a third loss to Seattle yesterday, I think it was.
Yep.
So like I was like, oh yeah, great. Like we're in form. We're going up against who I would probably consider the title favorites at the moment. And yeah, I had, you know, a lot of free time to watch basketball that day. I watched all the other games that were on League Pass, and then I try to watch the game that I care about the most.
The game of the day.
The game of the day. And it's because it's Eye on Fridays.
Eye on Fridays. So I'd like, you know how ESPN has the clips on the side of the box score?
Yeah.
It says Chelsea Gray drains floater off of 1 foot is the caption for one of these videos, but it's, I think they've got
That's not what she does.
Well, she that number one. But I feel like with Chelsea Gray, of all basketball players, I feel like you should be writing Chelsea Gray drains floater on 1 foot.
Yeah, right.
Due to her inathleticism and coming off the injury.
I understand.
But yeah, she has that presence and just like this is against the Connecticut Sun. 4 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, 3 turnovers.
Yeah.
Plus 19.
Yeah. I was going to bring exactly that up, actually.
Like, it's truly, like, what do you put it down to? It's because it's, per the box score, very intangible.
Yeah. I think that's it. It's, like, completely intangible. Well, I think just the last, you know, in both championship runs, you know, she contributed so heavily to both of them in a productivity way. But like just having her there, just having the reliability of her there, I think just calmed everyone else. Also, having her on the court means there's X amount less attention on Jackie Young, Kelsey Plum,
true,
Asia Wilson, but particularly those first 2. And like that's been through the first, you know, through our pretty average run in the first part of the season. like, you know, I think Jackie Young was maybe 4th in the league in assists per game, but like that shouldn't be her role.
Yeah.
You know, like Jackie Young shouldn't be initiating the offense every single time down the floor, and that tires her out. It means she's been in a shooting slump all season. It means she has like her defense hasn't been as good. So yeah, it was just like, you know, Chelsea Gray much more than the sum of her parts.
Yeah.
Like both as an on-court leader and like, you know, what she draws away from the other players on our team as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen either of the games yet with Chelsea Gray back. Hey, this Kirsten Bell character,
Yeah.
is she just always injured? Or I don't know. She was definitely inactive last year. That could have just been.
I thought she played a little bit. Like,
true.
Yeah.
Maybe just in the playoffs she didn't play because Becky was playing 6 players.
I think it is like she's injured, and then when it comes time to play her, it's like, oh well, you know, 1, we don't need your services, and 2, we maybe don't trust you to.
Yeah. But she had a great season in the WNBA 2 years ago. So I haven't copped any either of these games. But I'll be sure to watch an Aces game soon. Are you playing tomorrow?
I think we might be the Amazon Prime game, aren't we?
No, Wednesday. Oh, dude, big one tomorrow. 1 game, Lynx Liberty.
Yeah.
That'll be epic.
Yeah, that would be so good. That would be so good.
In Elmont.
It is on Prime though.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
God damn it.
And then we're playing the Sky on Friday, which will be
the Commissioners Cup Championship on Wednesday.
Yep.
But the game won't be in the Barclays Center because of the draft.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's gonna be upstate Long Island,
Elmont.
Yeah.
Which could be in either of those locations,
Yeah.
potentially. God knows.
This episode of The Deep 2 is presented by Gelateria Bico, the official gelato of The Deep 2. Gelateria Bico, handmade gelato in the heart of Brunswick.
Main reason we turned on the microphones and came to have a chat today, Marco, the best position in basketball, the 4. So I was thinking this about, I don't know if you've seen the news lately, but it seems to either have Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese, or Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about Angel Reese's, who she's coming up against. I was like, wow. Because I think she had a week where she had like back-to-back Asia and Stewie or something, and then Necker or something. And then I was like, damn, those are really good players. And then I was like, wow, every starting 4 in the WNBA is so good.
Yeah.
Like and we were going to rank 1 through 5. I did all 12 starters. Or let's say who we're ranking at healthy, who is at the top of the depth chart of the 4 position.
Yeah.
For every team in the WNBA. And in doing this exercise, the 4 is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like truly, I have, of the 12 players, 9 of these players would be one of the 3 best players on their team, I think.
Yeah, 100%. And like all the MVP candidates are there for like the last 2 or 3 seasons, maybe. Like all the, like, you know, I don't think it's going to be too much of a surprise who the top 3 are. But fuck, my top 4... No, I'm not going to say it. But like the top 3 are also the 3 best teams in the league. Like,
yeah,
you know, potentially. So yeah. And it's just so important. Exactly what you said. It's an important position.
Thanks, bro. Well, do you want to go first? Do you want to go your 1 through 5?
Are we going to do it like that? We're going to say our 5s and then discuss them? Or?
How else? What did you have in mind?
Well, should we say, do you reckon the top 3 is pretty set in stone?
I think, cat's out of the bag.
Yeah.
With the top 3.
All right, well, let's go through the top 3 first, I reckon. Then we can discuss those last two spots.
Okay, so number 1, I've got Asia Wilson of the Las Vegas Aces.
Yeah.
Number 2, I've got Alyssa Thomas of the Connecticut Sun.
Yeah.
And number 3, I've got Brianna Stewart of the New York Liberty.
That's exactly right, Lucas.
And you've got the same order?
I had Alyssa Thomas before Asia Wilson, but I think I'm being like anti-Homer after being very Homer in our over-under picks.
Yeah.
So,
Asia.
Asia's the best player in the league.
I think that's the other thing is that, like, this isn't just going off this season. This is contextualizing a few things, like recent history, recent body of work, and then I also think, in terms of, splitting hairs, I probably went to this season.
Yeah, definitely.
Asia Wilson, best player in the league, which would mean she's the best player in her position.
Yeah.
Alyssa Thomas, I think Stewie's having a great season.
Yeah.
Stewie, the MVP from a year ago. And part of my recent body of work, recent whatever's happened contextualization was last year's playoffs. Alyssa Thomas outperformed Brianna Stewart and kind of stopped her in 2 of the games, maybe even more. But they just kind of put Alyssa Thomas on Stewie. Stephanie White put Alyssa Thomas on Stewie, and it worked. And it was like it was super puzzling. It was like when they put Draymond on Jokic a few years ago. Not that he completely stopped Jokic. It was just like, wow. You can do that. Then the rest of the team can focus on other things defensively and not all just stopping this one player. And, Stewie's numbers are... Actually, the New York Liberty, you said just then that you had the Connecticut Sun as your title favorites. I would have the New York Liberty.
Yeah.
And Stewie's kind of taken that half step back that kind of all good players take when their team takes a step forward.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, I think that's almost true for the whole Liberty. Like, they're all like... They're a bit like sleeping dogs, Like, they're all like, no, we know that we're all good when we kind of, maybe leave one thing out of our game for the rest of the team.
Yeah.
But for me, that means they're, like, the best prepared for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of, like, okay, well... which of these players is going to drop 30 tonight?
Yeah, they're really focusing on the machine, which I think they had to last year. I think as the season progressed, it was evident pretty early on that it wasn't going to be enough to just trust talent and your top end talent coming up against the aces. Leonie Febick has been, I feel like every time I turn on a New York Liberty game, she is just like, I think in bringing her in, there were kind of like shades of she was going to replace Maureen Johannes' role. Not really the case exactly. There are a few different responsibilities, but I think the main difference is that I think they learned from the mistake of not giving Maureen the ball more and kind of giving her the ball when she was sharing the call with 2 of the stars. And this year they're really looking for Febick as kind of as the response to having made that mistake last year. And I think that's the type of stuff that'll help them in September. That last game in September.
Damn straight.
But yeah, any other notes for the top 3?
I think just to emphasize how good Alyssa Thomas is and how again, not intangible, but like the way that like Brianna Stewart impacts a game is so different to the way Alyssa Thomas impacts a game. And like you say, like, I think there's all these like defensive things you can do to limit Brianna and Asia. But like, I don't know what you do to kind of stop Alyssa Thomas's impact on a game. Like, cause she really is just so integral to what the Sun do everywhere. Like scoring, playmaking, defense, one-on-one defense, team defense, like, slowing down ball movement on the other team. That it's not just as much as like, make her shot's not falling, you have to go to other options, like kind of take her out of the game a bit. Like, there's no way you can take her out of the game because she just opens up so much for the Sun.
Yeah, her hands are all over the game. Defensively, she's just like ridiculous. She goes to the foul line, and probably every game they say it, but I reckon 1 in every 10 games when they say, and she shoots the free throws with her left hand like that because she plays with 2 torn labrums, is like, that's crazy that she's like, I don't want to do whatever is, I assume she needs surgery. Yeah. And she's just like, no, I'm not going to take the surgery. I'm going to just play with it and then just shoot differently. Yeah. It's just insane. Yeah. I also... Oh, no, she might have... Okay. Nix that. It's just her 3-point... I'm on her basketball reference right now.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Oh, yeah. Well, her 3.8 column is what I'm looking at.
It's completely blank.
It truly is. It's blank. Hasn't made a 3 since her rookie year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's all I think. And yeah, I mean, Asia's actually... Like, she might be having her best season ever, You
reckon?
Well... Numbers wise, she's averaging 28 points. Like,
Jesus.
Yeah. And like she's been making up a lot, and I think her role in like our defensive system has kind of faltered a bit because of that. But like she's still blocking shots, getting steals, getting rebounds, and scoring at just like such an insane clip and efficiency. Like
what's this? 8 points better than her MVP season 2 seasons ago. 2 rebounds better. Half an assist better.
Yeah. Half a
block
better.
And a half a steal better.
Yeah.
Less turnovers per game. Wow.
Yeah, we're just not winning. So
yeah,
that says something as well.
Empty stats.
Yeah. Empty stats from the 5th seed.
No, yes, 5th seed now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Now you're 4. Do you want to just go to the next one down? 4. Next rung down.
I've gone for the Minnesota Lynx' Nafisa Collier.
Yeah, I have as well.
Yeah, I thought that would be the case.
Yeah.
And again, you can see what I was going to say, that the 4 of the top 5 teams are represented on my list already so far. She's just so different from the other 3. I think probably the player I've had the most fun watching this season. Like, she's just such an interesting player. I think she might have the deepest bag in the league. Like, she can really like attack defenses in any way. Like, she's so good in the post. She's got that like awesome footwork. She's got like almost like Hakeem, but like not huge. Like, feints and like way of putting her defender off. I feel like she can play like smaller or bigger than she actually is. Like she can catch passes over the top, and then like, if she knows someone isn't as fast or shifty as her, she just takes him off the dribble. Yeah. Hits pull-up jumpers. Like, she can really do it all. And yeah, like, I think she's just been so integral to the Lynx's, rise over these last 2 seasons.
Yeah. Great leader. I think she can kind of, she understands what role is needed of her in the offense. Like, if someone else is going, or if she feels like the rest of the team needs to get going, she'll kind of take her hands off the offensive side or maybe just the scoring side of things and facilitate a little bit more, and then ramp up defensively. But I think what you said about her being one of the more fun players to watch this season, I think that's true of the whole Lynx, and she really leads that. I think Kayla McBride has also been like huge. Like, I didn't expect her to be performing this consistently. And like Aussie Alana Smith, her and Collier and Smith's, defensive pairing on the inside is crazy. They actually, one press conference, Collier said that it reminded her of playing with Sylvia Fowles. I think they had like a combined 9 blocks or something.
Wow.
So there's been a fun team to watch on the Kayla McBride side of things. I didn't expect her to be scoring, being one of the leading scorers so consistently. She's shooting more threes than she ever has, and she's shooting a higher percentage than she ever has.
The whole team's shooting the shit out of the ball as well. Like,
7 attempts from 3, 46% from 3 for Kayla McBride. But yeah, this team, I think this is what was building at the end of last season. Probably also having that playoff series against the Sun, I think it was, last season, helped this as well. But yeah, this is what they've been building towards, and it's nice to see it all coming to fruition.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Who do you have in the number 5 spot, Lucas?
I have a player that's been inactive this WNBA season.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Who do you have?
You're going for okay. I didn't even think of that zag. That wasn't even in my wheelhouse.
I sent you the list.
No, yeah. But I didn't think of it. She would make the top 5.
Yeah.
But you might be right.
Yeah.
I've been much more of a prisoner of the moment here. I went for De'Arica Hamby.
Oh, wow. Wow. I have 3 names before I have De'Arica Hamby.
Okay.
So I went with Satu Sabali.
Yeah.
I think that she was just so dominant for so long last year. Most improved player. She was also 5th in the MVP vote, which would, further go to prove that this is the strongest position in basketball.
Were they one? I think they were 1 through 5. Your picks then.
Yeah. No, I was Alyssa Thomas second.
I think so.
I thought Stewie. No, because Stewie was. I had Stewie third.
No. Your order's wrong.
Right.
But
yeah.
like Nafisa was 4th.
She was 4th. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Satu was 5th.
Yeah.
Like.
So I just think Satu.
This is big brain stuff from you, Lucas.
This is like. See that like Shannon Sharp's predictions for the college basketball tournament, March Madness.
Yeah, right.
It was like who's gonna win each division, and all he picked was the 1 seed.
Yeah,
in like in 8 different categories. So I just think she was crazy good last season, super efficient, deep bag. She's a very watchable player. And I don't know if there are updates on her, if she's going to return this season, but I think she just did too much last year. In terms of comparing her to the field, I think she had done too much last year to not have solidified herself in this at 5th.
I really like your pick, but yeah, it wasn't even on my radar to put an inactive player in my top 5.
Yeah.
I have to respect it. I've gone with Hamby, and I'm totally I feel like just watching her play this season is weighing so heavily on this. Although when she was on the Aces, she might be the 5 that we need, Like she might be like the full-time partner for Asia Wilson that would suit us best.
Yeah. Which she was.
Yeah, and we won we won a championship with her. But yeah, she's just taken such a unexpected step up this season.
Mm-hmm.
She was obviously you start playing immediately after a pregnancy, she just wasn't sort of a factor last season for the Sparks. And obviously the Sparks are deep in a rebuild. I mean, them and Dallas were two worst teams in the league. So have we both,
last year?
No, this season.
Oh yeah. Sorry,
we've both picked from the bottom of the bunch for pick 5 here.
Yeah.
But it's just incredible, how she's put her game together this season. She's so aggressive. She's so good in transition. She's making tough shots. Like we've been saying, you're going up against the best players in the league in your position every single night. Her team is just not... I feel like the contributions from the rest of the Sparks have been, either disappointing or, a rookie developing... into their role. But she, there's been heaps of inefficiency, a lot of mistakes from other players. But yeah, she's just been so efficient. 50, 40, 63. So you got to work on that free throw shooting, Jerica.
Yeah.
And yeah, obviously, Kurt Miller, that's their coach's name. Yeah. He's looking at her as the leader for this young team. You know, maybe not the best player on the roster when they're a playoff team, but the best player and the most important player and the most vocal player, while they're developing all of this young talent.
So Kurt Miller was on the Locked On Women's Basketball podcast just this week, or potentially last week, recently, one of the last few episodes, and he spoke about, he was like, he'd been coaching for so long, and he'd had many successes, and he was like, I didn't really have anything else I really wanted to do as a coach, but build a team that was rebuilding and build alongside a team and build the foundations of a team. And he spoke very, very profoundly about Dearica Hamby and what she's been doing this season. And he's like, what he wants to do is just get the most out of each player.
Yeah.
And he's like, the way that Dearica is doing that, leading the team, is just credit to her. But I would recommend listening to the episode because the way he spoke was he charged me up. I was like, fuck yeah, let's go Dearica. From the season ago where she was coached by Kurt Miller in Los Angeles with the Sparks, she has doubled her points per game, doubled her rebounds, doubled her in 1.5 times the amount of minutes.
I think she's leading the Sparks in every statistical category except blocks. Like,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think the thing that like blows my mind every single time is the 3-point shooting.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
where did this come from?
Yeah.
Her role as a 3-point shooter has just never been consistent whatsoever. But just generally, the scoring efficiency, I think, is the best thing. And yeah, what's well known about Derek Hamby is the tools and like the intangibles and the hustle. So to be producing in the box score as well is so cool.
Yeah, without losing any of those intangibles.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Definitely. Very opportunistic player. So that's your top 5, Marco. Did you have, who else was vying for that 5 position?
I think next probably would have been Nyeka Ogwumike.
Yeah.
Wait, let me get the list up again. Now I'm...
Pull the list up again.
Yeah.
The names you haven't yet mentioned are Satu Sabali.
Yeah. I just wasn't going to mention.
Shakira Austin.
Yeah.
Rebecca Allen. Angel Reese. Nelissa Smith. Cheyenne Parker.
Oh, God. It really could have been any of them.
So I've gone 1 through 12. I'll go my 6 through 12 now.
Yeah.
We've just done our top 5s. 6th, Nneka Ogwumike, Shakira Austin, Dearica Hamby, Rebecca Allen, Angel Reese, Nelissa Smith, Cheyenne Parker, and Cheyenne Parker at 12th. So I categorize these players into 6 different categories, and I feel as though within those categories you could be interchangeable. But the bottom category, Angel Reese, Nelissa Smith, and Cheyenne Parker, it's just the least experienced. Yeah. I realized, like, what's the common theme through all these players? Rebecca Allen, Dearica Hamby were in their own section. And they kind of have had similar-ish, like, they've been around the block a little bit.
Yeah.
They've had to fit in as a player in a new role. A player in a new role in a new environment. Shakira Austin in her own category. I really don't think she has... I feel like she's in her own category. Like, no other players have been on the same franchise that has had so much, like, variance during their time there. Or at least haven't had variance in recent seasons. Satu Sabali and Nneka Ogwumike, I guess they're in the same category, but they probably don't have as much consistency throughout their careers. But then the top 3... the top 3 have just been part of that conversation for a few years now. And then Nafisa Collier at 4th, I guess her career has been kind of similar to top 3, but she was pregnant one of those years. So that obviously factors into it as well over the space of her career. But I just found it interesting. I was like, there are quite clear themes as to how people's careers pan out.
Definitely. 100%. Yeah, I like your list. Have you got any more on the 4 discussion, or can I ask you a question that's sort of tangentially related?
You can ask me a question that's tangentially related, but my last point is just the 4 is so good. Like, maybe not Beck Allen, and if Shakira Austin can get a few games under her belt, but I don't know what her injury status is either. And also
I think she went back to being injured.
Yeah. She played 6 games and then she got injured again. So Satu Sabali expected to return after the Olympic break. But say all these players are healthy, and Dearica Hamby's playing the way she's playing this year. There could be 8 all-stars in the 4 position, representing the 4 position.
Definitely, 100%.
And those bottom 4 are nothing to sniff at. Like Cheyenne Parker was an all-star last year. And Nelissa Smith just incredible performer, or consistently produced for that team.
The NBA moves so quickly these days, it's hard to keep up. Shams and Woj are breaking stories left and right, but the Quick Time Out is right there with them to keep you informed on the latest NBA news. Stop in and let us break it down as it happens. Find the Quick Time Out on the Deep 2 Podcast Network.
Okay, so you've already you've answered the first part of the question, which is you've said that Nneka Ogwumike is top 6 player at her position. Let's call her top 5 because Satu Sabali is injured.
Okay.
Would you say Ezi Magbagor is one of the 3 best centers in the WNBA?
Oh my god, great question. Yeah, but
I think so. Yeah,
I don't have. I need the list.
I think Jonquil Jones.
Yeah.
Griner.
Yeah, I would say Griner first, but
maybe Breonna Jones might be. in that discussion as
You've
well.
you've really thrown a
Sorry.
spanner in this.
But I would like to say that Ezzy is better than Brianna Jones.
Yeah, I would say so as well.
Okay. We're gonna stay on this center discussion just for a second, are we? Or...
Yeah. You keep saying what you're trying to say.
Would you say Jewel Lloyd is one of the 5 best guards in the WNBA?
Point or shooting?
Yeah, point or shooting.
Oh, that's tough. No.
Shooting, yes.
Shooting, I want to say yes. Yeah.
The Seattle Storm are pretty stacked.
Yeah. I think that was known before the season started.
No, but I think Ezzy is just so clearly 3rd best center in the WNBA, maybe.
Yeah.
I think I don't think anyone had questions about how Onyeka Ogwumike would play, but she's producing in a new environment. Jewel Lloyd has, she hasn't had. God, her efficiency is terrible, actually. Jesus, do not ask what number it starts with, Lucas. Do not ask me.
What number? Yeah, she was saying
3 and a 2.
Oh God, yeah. She's been pretty pissed off about it.
Yeah.
Her and Ryan Howard, I feel like, have been the 2 players starting the season that I've been like, damn, just make the basket.
Is Ryan Howard's out?
She's out now.
Isn't she? I think she's been ruled out. Or was she just ruled out of the Olympics? Oh my God, I feel like I'm breaking bad news.
Oh no, okay. She hasn't played a game in a week.
Yeah, out for an indefinite period.
What?
Oh, that's terrible, actually.
That's
really bad. But yeah, I think we knew the Storm were going to be contenders this season. But I think you kind of have your top 4 is it could be the best top 4. You and the Liberty, maybe.
The core 4.
Yeah.
Who's your core 4 now? No, it would still be yours.
Yeah, but if Chelsea Gray is not full Chelsea Gray, then she probably isn't. You know,
I understand what you're saying.
She probably isn't top 5 guard. She might be a top 5 point guard.
I think the Liberty would be better.
Yeah,
Skylar Diggins-Smith. I don't know. There's always something about.
I don't know, man. She's been really good.
She has. Yeah, but 40-30 splits.
Yeah, she's also been so in it. Wow, no one on your team is really no. Yeah, no one on your team is really shooting the 3 ball very well. Actually.
Shooting the rock well. Yeah, so we've recently
You're
found.
actually 11th in 3-point percentage.
Wow. Well, I feel like we've recently found some form.
Yeah.
Form that we really didn't have at the start of the season. Was one of your wins with Chelsea Gray against us?
Did we beat you 2 games ago?
Yeah, something like that. Okay, so maybe. But since the start of what's that? June? Yeah, since the start of June, we've had some pretty big wins. Whereas I feel like at the start of the season, we lost to Mini twice and then the Liberty. But we have since beat Phoenix with Griner, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then you guys and Connecticut. So I think starting to get those wins against the better teams, I think that was going to be something that this team needed to prove to themselves as a newish group that they could beat the better teams, or at least be competitive. Yeah. Which we just didn't show at the start of the season. But in terms of core 4 compared to the Liberty, so I think it probably goes Stewie, Ionescu, Jonquel Jones, Vandersloot in that order.
Yeah.
And then I would say for the Storm, oh man, who would be the best?
Yeah, it's hard.
I don't know who the best would be.
I would have said Jewel Lloyd.
Yeah.
But oh man, Ezzy's been so good.
Ezzy has been so good, and I didn't want to make the homer pig either, but she has been so good defensively. I think recently Neck has just provided such consistent offense that that the rest of the team, I feel like you can feel the rest of the team playing off her consistency. Yeah. So I think she's, let's put it like this. I think she is driving the offensive production and Ezzy's driving the defensive production. So let's say those two are 1 and 2 in either order.
Yeah.
Even like already, I think we're behind. The
Definitely.
Liberty there.
Definitely.
Then Jonquel Jones and Jewel Lloyd. I'd take Jonquel Jones.
Yeah.
And then I think it's Skylar Diggins-Smith and Vandersloot. I think that the difference between the two of them is Diggins-Smith is scoring a lot more than Vandersloot is.
But it's different. It's like, who do you want in the last 3 minutes of a playoff game? Like, probably Courtney Vandersloot.
Yeah.
Just in terms of like you don't know what she's going to produce, how much she's going to produce, but she's not going to make a mistake.
Yeah.
In that point in the game, and like that might be all you need from your fourth best player.
Yeah. Once it gets to that point,
which makes me feel good about Chelsea Gray having one leg or whatever.
Yeah. So in terms of the numbers though, Diggins-Smith is blowing Vandersloot out of the water this year. Yeah. But I would say we aren't. I think the Liberty are clearly their call for it better than ours. Yeah. And then I would say, in 10 games time, I think you will be back at the top of that.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've beat you and the Sun both pretty comfortably in Chelsea's first 2 games back, and that's like, fuck, we could hit a real stride of form. In your win against the Sun yesterday, I think it was.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, Ezzy's like your linchpin defensively. Obviously, I hope she's Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
But I feel like she's just added so much to her offensive game as well. Like she's just hitting little jumpers and I feel like not sort of afraid to take her matchup on. And yeah, I think she really led how you strangled. I think you just really slowed their ball movement down and didn't let them kind of cycle the ball around, force them into turnovers, force Alyssa Thomas into a lot of turnovers. I think that that all really comes down to Ezzy, which is great. She's been great since she came into the league, but now she's looking you don't want to be coming up against her as an offensive player.
Yeah.
Not just individually, but how she's going to affect your system.
Yeah, I think you said she's added a lot to her offensive game. I feel like there's a few times a game where it looks like she's taking a really casual layup in a half-court setting. And then the team will post the view from the baseline on their Instagram. And she's just so agile that she's just created that much space that you don't see on the broadcast. That is you in a phone booth, you created all that space to then be able to take such a casual layup.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I feel like she's really playing off of her strengths.
Yeah.
And defensively, she's just incredible.
Yeah.
She's actually awesome. It's so cool that she's Aussie as well. Because it's I don't know, we really, we back our bloody Aussies, no matter where they are around the world. But Essie's just the best.
Yeah. And we were watching her, she was courtside for a bunch of Boomers games too. Last season, didn't play in the WNBL, which she was playing in Europe, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was playing in Hungary.
But it was also she obviously knew how big this WNBA season was going to be for her. I think there was a lot of that thing where it's you're seeing all these great opals playing in the WNBL, and then maybe the best ones sitting courtside. It's she's actually the best player on the team. She's actually just a step better than everyone else at the moment. And she's thinking about playing for a title contender in the WNBA next season. Yeah.
So she last year made the all-defensive second team, and the year before made the all-defensive second team. Hopefully she makes the all-defensive first team.
Yeah.
And also...
She got her.
And also, surely she's close to a defensive player of the year. Asia, again, is having an incredible season.
Yeah. But again, if we don't put up a league best defense, but Asia's getting, 2.5 blocks and 1.5 steals, then it's if Ezzy is behind one of the league's best defenses and she's putting up good numbers herself, I would choose Ezzy.
Yeah.
I feel like she's more integral. Oh no! Obviously, if we didn't have Asia, we would be the worst defensive team in the league. We would have nothing. Yeah. But yeah, I hope this is complete this is complete fandom. This isn't coming from any sort of analyst point of view or anything. But I hope Alyssa Thomas wins MVP, and I hope Ezzy Nagbagor wins Defensive Player of the Year.
Right. Yeah. I like that. Back to my Seattle Storm just for a second. Someone I've really liked this season, Jordan Horston. I have no idea what position she plays, and I think that's kind of part of it.
Yeah.
Because she creates in pick and rolls, she scores from the wing, she provides kind of everything but a post game offensively. But I think the thing I like most, so we drafted her last year. I think she cracked the starting lineup by the end of the season. What I've liked about her this year is it looks like she has the confidence of the team behind her. So she's 23. She's, still super young. And she's playing on a team that has title aspirations, bringing in, two 33-year-olds that are now part of the core.
Yeah.
There are so many instances in which the pecking order could be messed with. But it seems as though this team is really, there's both ways there's been an embracing of what she brings to the team. And there's a trust in what she does. And I think that, this is me kind of comparing to the deep runs last year by the Aces and the Liberty. You need that player coming off the bench.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
that was like shown more than anything else. That was shown more than anything else. And I'm not saying that that's who she is this year, but I think that is who she is going to be. And I hope that this team sticks with this core, and that we can see that Jordan Horston playoff run either I want to say, hopefully next year.
Yeah. Well, but it's very promising. I'm not gonna be able to comment to the depth that you did, but it's very promising that you go from completely tanking team, team that was very pointedly being one of the worst teams in the league last season, to serious contender this year, and your minutes don't take a drop, and you're playing better, and you're shooting better, and you're contributing to the team in the same way, despite the lift in talent and the lift in expectations, but you're getting the same, if not better, results.
Yeah, definitely. And even little things like bringing the ball up when she's on the court with Jewel Lloyd or Skylar Diggins-Smith.
Oh, it matters so much. It genuinely matters so much.
Yeah, dead set.
Especially in the WNBA where the best players on the team are going to be playing 38 minutes in the playoffs. Having a possession where they're not dribbling the ball up, and also everyone plays full court defense in the playoffs. It matters so much.
Yeah, and she won't be coming up against the lead guard defender in those situations as well.
Exactly, yeah.
So I like it. I'll be honest, I was a bit skeptical of Noelle Quinn's coaching last year, but revisionist history, just a bad roster. But after the 0-3 start, which again I was like, well, I don't know. We've been 10-3, which is very good.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And I think I see her vision now. And it looks great, man. It looks great. It is a touch on the boring side, I'll be honest, even as a fan of this team.
Okay.
But also the team is just churning out wins now.
Yeah, that's literally all that matters.
Genuinely. All right. Well, is that on that?
Yeah, that sounds good, man.
Any other questions, queries, comments?
Can I use your Amazon Prime login?
No, I've cancelled, as you know.
Do you just get it? It's just regular Prime. It's not it's Prime Video or whatever it is.
Amazon. Oh no, yeah, Amazon Prime.
It's not like an add-on fucking WNBA or sports thing.
No, it was just Amazon Prime.
I think Alex has it, so I should probably just use hers.
Oh well, if you got that, does that also let you watch Eye on Fridays?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what lets you watch Eye on Fridays. I have no idea.
Okay, because I have watched a couple of. I'm now learning Eye on Fridays games, but not live.
Right.
Because I've watched them like, thank you for, they've got their special way of broadcasting.
Yeah.
And then beauty of the WNBA versus some other leagues is that the games are over in a reasonable amount of time,
good.
so you can just watch the game kind of soon.
You can also just get home from work and you're like, oh, should I watch a movie or should I watch an hour and a half long basketball game?
Yeah.
Same deal.
Yeah.
Except movies are bloody 3 hours long these days.
So is that so that's that on that?
That's that on that.
That's the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, listener. I hope you enjoyed it, Marco.
I had a great time.
Awesome. And see you guys next time.